everyone, so we are back with another set of video, and this time we are having the reaction that is called as the Cannizzaro reaction. So in our previous video we discussed about the aldol condensation reaction, and I hope you all must have practiced what is aldol condensation reaction, and by now all of your doubts must have been clear. So I left you with one question. We'll discuss it later in this video only, the solution part. But before that, we would discuss the another set of carbonyl reaction, that is Cannizzaro reaction. So just like we discussed the concept of aldol condensation reaction, here we'll be discussing the another set, that is the Cannizzaro reaction, and this is quite similar to what we have discussed in the aldol condensation reaction apart from the mechanism part. So here let's jump on to what exactly is Cannizzaro reaction and what is the reaction that is taking place. So basically here the aldehydes. So first of all, here you have to look out for those aldehydes which are not having the alpha hydrogen atom. So in case if you don't know what is alpha hydrogen atom, please do watch my previous video regarding the aldol condensation reaction, wherein we discussed exactly what is an alpha hydrogen. So just here for the reference, what is an alpha hydrogen? So basically the carbon atom that is attached adjacent to the aldehyde functional group that is containing the hydrogen are referred to as the alpha hydrogen. So suppose we have CH3CHO. So here CHO is basically my functional group, and the carbon that is attached adjacent to this carbonyl functional group is this carbon. So this is my alpha carbon, and the hydrogens attached to this carbon are referred to as the alpha hydrogen. And all those alpha hydrogens that were present in this carbonyl compound were taking part in the aldol condensation reaction. But here, unlike that aldol condensation reaction, those molecules are going to take place in the Cannizzaro reaction which are not containing alpha hydrogen. Simple. So basically the prerequisite for this reaction to occur is that the alpha hydrogen must be absent. So in case no alpha hydrogen is present, then what reaction is going to take place? Cannizzaro reaction is going to take place. So first of all, in order to study any of the reaction, we must have three known things. That is, first is the substrate. What is the substrate that we are going to take? Second is the reagent, that is the things that are written over above the arrow part, so that are our reagent part. And third is the product. So if you know all of these three things, then you will be able to do any of the reaction. So here, first thing, the substrate thing is that you have to look out for those aldehydes which do not contain alpha hydrogen atom. So firstly here you will see only those aldehydes which are not containing alpha hydrogen atom. And if I talk about the reagent part over here, then here the reagent that you take is base. Now in aldol condensation reaction you are taking base. So bases are same, but the difference is the concentration. In aldol condensation reaction, what you do is you take some dilute base, that is very mild base. But in the case of Cannizzaro reaction, what you need is you need concentrated KOH, which means here you are making use of the concentrated base, high concentration base. Alright. So here strong bases, concentrated bases are used, while in aldol condensation reaction dilute bases were used. So this is another difference. Next, if I talk about the product, so in the case of aldol condensation reaction, we were getting alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds, but here we'll get two different type of products. First is the oxidized product and second is the reduced product. Okay, so basically they undergo self-oxidation and reduction reaction, and we also refer to as the disproportionation reaction. So this you must have studied in the redox reaction. What is a disproportionation reaction? In which the oxidation state is both increased and decreased, right? So basically it is disproportionating into its oxidized part and its reduced part at the same time. And as I talked about here, the reagent that we are going to use is the concentrated alkali. Alkali is base and you are basically using a strong base. Alright. So here let us have a look at the reaction and just try to understand what exactly is an oxidized product and what exactly is a reduced product. So basically here HCHO. What is HCHO? It is formaldehyde. Right. So here if I look out for alpha hydrogen, then you can see that here alpha hydrogen is not present. If I draw the structure would be similar to this part, which is HC double bond O and H, right? So since there is no alpha carbon in this case, right? So no alpha carbon is present in this case. So basically no alpha hydrogen is present. Just remember, this hydrogen is directly attached to the C double bond O group. So this won't be considered as the alpha hydrogen. So you will be taking two molecules of formaldehyde. So this will be referred to as the self-Cannizzaro reaction. When you are taking molecules of the same kind, then you refer to as self-Cannizzaro reaction. Just like we studied in aldol condensation reaction, there are two types. First is the self-aldol condensation reaction and second is the cross-aldol condensation reaction. Similarly here, if you are taking molecules of the same type, then you are calling it as the self-Cannizzaro reaction. So you have taken 2 moles of formaldehyde and you are treating it with conc KOH. So basically here, one molecule of formaldehyde will be oxidized and one molecule would be reduced. So here if I talk about the oxidation product of an aldehyde, so aldehyde is oxidized into carboxylic acid, but instead here you are not getting the carboxylic acid itself, but to be more precise, you are getting here the potassium salt of the carboxylic acid. So this is HCOO minus and K plus. So you are basically getting over here the salt of the carboxylic acid. The hydrogen part is basically replaced by the K plus part, that is the cationic part of the base, and therefore you are getting the oxidized product as this. And if I talk about the reduced product, so the reduced product is alcohol. So just remember the methods of preparation that we were discussing. So in order to prepare aldehydes, one of the method was that if you use some mild oxidizing agent to alcohol, then it will get oxidized into aldehydes or ketones, whereas if you are going to make use of a strong oxidizing agent, then it will get directly oxidized into the most oxidized product, that is our carboxylic acid part. Alright, so this is how the Cannizzaro reaction is taking place. So just a quick recap what we have done. Firstly, you have to look out for those substrates which are not containing alpha hydrogen. Then in order to identify what reaction is exactly going to take place, then here basically you are taking your concentrated base, and once you have identified that the Cannizzaro reaction is going to take place, you have to form two products. So the first product will be the oxidized product and the second product would be the reduced product. So the first product would be this oxidized product, which is your acid part, and second is your alcohol part. So here you get both acid and alcohol. Alright, so let us talk about the another example over here, that is of benzaldehyde. So I hope you all are aware of the structure of benzaldehyde. When a CHO group is attached to a benzene ring, then it is called as the benzaldehyde group. Now if I talk about here, then this is the alpha carbon which is present, right? But it is already bonded to 4 atoms. So basically here it has already made up 4 bonds, so which means that no alpha hydrogen is present at this place. So at this place no alpha hydrogen is present, so therefore it can undergo Cannizzaro reaction. We have taken 2 molecules of benzaldehyde. Alright, so here if I take 2 molecules of benzaldehyde, then similar to the above reaction, first one would be the reduced product, that is CH2OH, and second one would be the oxidized product, that is COONA. So basically we'll be getting the sodium salt of the carboxylic acid, that is this, which is sodium benzoate, right? This is our sodium benzoate and this is our benzyl alcohol. Alright, so this was about the self-Cannizzaro reaction. Now if I talk about the mechanism of the Cannizzaro reaction, how is it exactly going to take place, though it is not given in your NCERT, but just for a reference in case it is asked what mechanism does it follow, so you must know the back things out. So basically here, if question is asked what kind of mechanism is this reaction following, then it is the hydride transfer mechanism. So here, as the name suggests, hydride transfer, which means that here hydrogen is getting transferred and the rate determining step is also the slowest step, right? And here the step which involves the hydride transfer step is the slowest step. So how is it going to take place? Let us have a look at it. So basically, first if I talk about PHCOH, that is our benzaldehyde. So what we have done is, we have taken this compound and we have treated it with a base that is OH negative, right? Now this OH negative is nucleophilic in nature, and this carbonyl carbon is electrophilic in nature, which means that it is containing a partial positive charge, right? So this nucleophile will attack on this partially positive carbonyl carbon, and the electron density will be seen shifting towards the more electronegative atom, that is oxygen in this case. So what is going to happen? This OH will get attached to this carbonyl carbon, electron density will be seen shifting towards this oxygen, and this kind of hydroxy alkoxide would be formed. Now in the second step, what it is going to happen is, you are going to take the second molecule of your same compound, that is your benzaldehyde in this case, and now what is going to happen? The hydride transfer step is going to take place. So the hydride which is attached to this hydroxy alkoxide is going to transfer over here to this carbonyl carbon, and the electron density will be again shifted towards this oxygen part. So you will be getting your carboxylic acid over here, because here the electron density will be shifted, and you will be getting PHC double bond OH plus PHCO minus H and H, which is your alkoxide. Now you know that amongst an acid and an alcohol, most acidic is acid, right? Because we know that the resonating structure of carboxylic acid is more stable as compared to the alcohol after losing a hydride, right? So the third step would involve the exchange of protons. So this proton which is attached to this acidic part will get transferred to this O negative part. Alright, so this would be carboxylate, which is PHCOO negative, which is the carboxylate ion which is more resonance stabilized, and the second product that you will be getting is the alcohol. So now I think you would be able to understand that why we were getting the sodium or the potassium salt of the carboxylic acid, because since we know that this exists as an anion. So to make this anion a neutral molecule, the positive part of the base that we were taking was getting attached to it, and therefore we were getting the sodium or the potassium salt of the carboxylate acid, and additionally we were getting the product that is our reduced product, which is alcohol in this case. Alright, so basically the mechanism involves three steps. First step is the attack of a nucleophile, which is base in this case, and the next step is the transfer of this hydride to another molecule of the compound that you have taken in your reaction, and after that this step is the slowest step. And what is going to happen in the third step? Finally the proton transfer is going to take place, wherein we know that since acid contains the most acidic proton as compared to an alcohol, so it will tend to remain in its anionic state as compared to alcohol. So therefore you will be getting the sodium or the potassium salt of the carboxylate anion and with alcohol. Alright, so this was the mechanism of Cannizzaro reaction. Next we'll have a quick look at the crossed Cannizzaro reaction. So crossed Cannizzaro reaction, as the name suggests, that here the molecules would be of the different kind. So basically the one molecule that you have taken is of benzaldehyde, and the another molecule you have taken is of basically formaldehyde, that is HCHO, and it is made to react with conc NaOH. Alright. So here you have identified that both of the aldehydes are not containing alpha hydrogen, right? So first step, you identify that it is a Cannizzaro reaction, and then it is a cross Cannizzaro reaction. Then you have a look at the reagent, that is conc NaOH in this case, which means again it is confirming us that it is the cross Cannizzaro reaction. Now the question arises, which one would be oxidized and which one would be reduced? So here is a trick to learn that how to see it. More electrophilic carbonyl compound. So the one which is more electrophilic means which is more electron deficient, will be getting oxidized, and the more nucleophilic, or should I write less electrophilic carbonyl compound here. So the one which would be less electrophilic, you have to look at the carbonyl carbon. Less electrophilic would be reduced. So this is the key point that you have to learn in this case, that the more electrophilic one would be oxidized, which means that it would be getting converted into acid, and here less electrophilic would be reduced, which means that it would be getting converted into alcohol, right? So here if I talk about this specific case, then here we know that HC double bond OH, this carbonyl carbon is more electrophilic in nature as compared to this carbon, because it is attached to a benzene ring, and benzene ring can donate electrons. So that is why the electrophilicity of the carbonyl carbon is reduced in this case. So what will happen, this will get converted into acidic part, that is HCOONA part, and this will be reduced to the alcohol part, that is CH2OH part, right? So this is extremely very important, and it is often asked in the exams that complete the reaction. So you have to first identify that it is a type of a cross Cannizzaro reaction, and after identifying that it is a cross Cannizzaro reaction, what you need to do is you need to identify that which one is more electrophilic and which one is less electrophilic, so that you can decide on the basis of GOC the various concepts that you have studied, like inductive effect, hyperconjugation effect, mesomeric effect, and so on, right? And after identifying, you have to write the products accordingly. All right. So here this can be understood again on the basis of mechanism, that why more electrophilic is getting oxidized. So here basically the base will try to attack only on that carbon which is more electrophilic, and the one which is more electrophilic would be basically resulting in the hydride transfer, and thus it would be resulting in the formation of the salt of the carboxylic acid. Alright, so this was all about the Cannizzaro reaction. We would be discussing collectively the questions of aldol condensation reaction and the Cannizzaro reaction in our next video, where we'll be discussing the previous year questions of NEET, JEE Main, CBSE boards, and so on. So please do watch that video for question practice. And talking about the question that I have given you in the previous video, that was this write structural formulas and names of the 4 possible aldol condensation reactions from propanol and butanol. So I have given you this. So these are the answer to this question. Basically here 4 different kinds of products you'll be able to form, and since both of them contains alpha hydrogen, so both of them would participate in the aldol condensation reaction. So first is the possibility of self-aldol condensation products, that is you take propanol, and once you have taken propanol, what you can do is you can first form this OH and CHO part, and on heating you'll be able to form alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound. So this would be your first product, and the second product would be the self-aldol condensation product of the butanol part. And the 2 other products would involve the cross condensation product. So in cross condensation product, basically what is going to happen, first you need to form the enolate ion or the anion of any one, that is butanol in this case, and you have to take electrophy as the another carbonyl compound, and then you will be able to form this product. And the 4th product would be that you form the carbon ion of propanol. So once you will be able to find that the carbon ion is forming of propanol, and in the other case the carbon ion is forming of the butanol. So that's how you will be able to make 4 different kinds of product. So I hope this question was clear to you, and the Cannizzaro reaction that we have discussed today. So in the next video we'll be discussing the question. So please do watch that video. Till then, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you.